Hi everyone, welcome back to Financial Flamingo. Today we're going to be doing my November setup in my budget planner. I'm going to refresh my wallet with some new envelopes, and then I have a new savings challenge binder that I want to get set up. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to start with kind of the easier things first. So let's go ahead and refresh my wallet. So if you are new to my channel, I do have a budget supply shop. So I did make these. I sell these in my shop. It will be linked down below. We are going to swap out my wallet and just give it a little bit of a fall refresh here. So I have these Halloween envelopes, which are really cute. I love them. I'm so glad I used them for Halloween. You can grab them for next year. They're available. But I'm going to swap them over to these cute fall ones now that Halloween is over. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to pop these out. I will have this wallet link down below as well. I currently don't sell wallets. I'm waiting for samples to come in because I want to have some other options. I am A7 size all the way, and I feel like I have a hard time finding stuff that I really like that is in the A7 size. So I'm trying to find things that I like and offer them to you guys as well if you're A7 size as well. So pop this back open. So we've got coffee, eating out, spending, nails, beauty, other, and then I did also make a receipts and a back to bank because I like having those as an option. All right, so let's go through what we still had in our wallet. So coffee had nothing, eating out. I'm going to count this in a minute when I do my spending tracker updates. So I'm just going to put this into eating out for now, and we'll count it in just a minute. These are like old bills. They're not great. Okay, and then spending had money in it, and I think that's it. Put this in spending. Yeah, and then nails had nothing, beauty had nothing, and then I'll grab my little teller slip, my reusable teller slip. These are on my website as well. I'm gonna put this in the back to bank section because that makes sense to me. Perfect. Okay, and our wallet is all set up. Coffee, eating out, spending, nails, beauty, other, receipts, and back to bank. Perfect. All right. So our wallet is good to go. I'm not at the point of doing a cash unstuffing because I don't get paid till Friday, but at least we're refreshed with new envelopes, and then we'll count what we have left in there in just a minute. So I'm going to set that aside. All right, I think the next thing I want to do is go ahead and set up my new binder. So it's not completely a new binder. So I've had these like really cheap binders from Amazon. They were like $8, and I don't love them because they just are flimsy. So I actually got these two samples in of these new A6 size binders. I think I'm going to use this one for my business and this one for my savings challenges. So I really, really like these. Let me know if you would be interested in these at all down below. I think I do like $20, $25 for these. They're really nice. They're like way nicer than these Amazon ones. I was pleasantly surprised. So I think I'm gonna possibly do a pre-order of these and figure out what all colors, but I'm really, really happy with these. So we're gonna switch out my month ahead binder. The only other savings challenges I'm currently doing are my cat savings challenges, which I will link the shop where I got that down below. But I made these envelopes to do my month ahead because I would like to get us a month ahead and then kind of do more cash stuffing to just keep things straight in my mind. But we are not currently a month ahead, so we're not currently doing that. So I'm going to put these in here. I did make these, and these will be available as well. I prefer the plastic envelopes to like the ones I put in my cash wallet for savings challenges because you can hold more cash in these without it getting like so bulky and so hard on the envelope. I just really like these for saving larger amounts of money. So I made these cute labels for these. I think I'm missing a couple envelopes though. I'm not really sure what I was thinking because I'm missing like some of my bills. And I know that because I want to add in these that I made. So I made a set of like month ahead savings trackers. So we're gonna go ahead and put these in here. So housing, I will set up the like icon tracking part some other time because I feel like that's gonna take a long time. So I'm not gonna do that on camera, but electricity, I just wanted to kind of show how I'm setting this up. This is going to be kind of my savings challenge for myself in 2026 besides some of my other ones, just because it's something that I want to get us a month ahead. So I'm going to use it as kind of like if I have extra cash or extra money to work with, it's going to go into here. I think I have an internet one. So I wanted to have a little binder set up for it. Streaming, I think I have we'll use the subscriptions for this one. Credit card. Can I like hold this in my hand? I feel like I keep picking up these off the table. It's kind of annoying. All right, credit card, we've got, we'll use these two because I think I have this for student loan. Yep, and then we've got personal loan here. So I'll put a debt one in for that one as well. And then envelopes is like spending money. So I'm gonna put in other, so this is like what goes in my cash wallet, eating out, coffee, spending, all that kind of stuff. Subscriptions, I'm going to put another subscriptions one in here. If I can get it open with my nails. And then miscellaneous. So I'm going to put phone and insurance in this miscellaneous one because I don't know why I didn't make envelopes for these. These are like normal bills we have every month. So I need to make envelopes for those two things. And then I'm going to tuck these other two that are just utilities and other into the front because I feel like there might be something else that I've forgotten and then they'll just be in there and ready. So this is all good to go and ready now. So perfect. I like that these actually snap instead of having the like very unreliable magnetic thing. So this actually snaps. So that is perfect. That is all set up and ready to be used for my 2026 savings challenges. So here is my budget binder. I'm getting very excited to set up my 2026 because I'm changing the color scheme and everything. This is available down on my website as well as my free budget spreadsheet because I actually use a spreadsheet for my budget, but I use this for tracking my spending. You can see I didn't do a very good job tracking my spending on this calendar for October. We are going to update my spending trackers right now for what I've spent in these categories. So let me go ahead and get my bank app pulled up off camera. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and track our spending in these categories. So first up is groceries. So let me see what I spent on groceries. I went to Walmart once. Okay, so at Walmart on 10/27, I went to Walmart and I spent $116.50. So let me grab my calculator here. So we had $250 in this category. We spent $116.50. That leaves us with $133.50. And I'm just going to put Walmart groceries. All right, so that is our groceries category. Then we have gas. I did also get gas, so we're going to put, that was also on 10/27. We're going to put $36.61. So if we do 50, 1339. I'm just going to put break time. Okay, and then we have spending. So spending is in here. So we started out with $50 in spending. So let's see what we currently have. So we've got 20, 30, 35. So we have $35 left. So we spent 15. I don't know what day that was, but we'll just put, what day was that? That was Thursday, I think. What day was Thursday? That was the 30th. So 10:30. So I said I spent 15. So I have 35 left. And I got lunch one day. That's what I spent that money on. So we'll put this back into my spending section of my wallet. And that way I know how much I have for the next week until I get paid on Friday. So we're good on this page. Let me come over here. This is eating out. This is also in my wallet. So let's see what we've got here. 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So we have $42 left. So we started out with 80 minus 42, so we spent 38. And that was on 10/31. I know it was, because that is what day? Oh, 42. That's what I just said. I almost added it up again. And I'm just going to put Mexican, because that's the only place we go to eat out. And then this is going back in my wallet for this Friday's Mexican. We go every Friday to the same Mexican, and that's pretty much the only time we eat out unless we get fast food, which we are trying not to do. So that is everything that is currently in my wallet for us to track. So we're good to go on that. I'm not going to track pets this time. I'm adjusting my way I track some of these things. There's been nothing for beauty, so we're not even going to track that either. But I've decided to start putting pets directly into my vet fund every paycheck. So basically I'm putting more into my sinking fund for the pets instead of budgeting for the pets, because it's just easier, and then I can just buy whatever we need out of this, because the timing of when we need things for the pets is inconsistent. So it's just going to be easier for me to track. We also had vet fees that we had this past week. Unfortunately, we had an emergency that did not have a good outcome. So we did spend money out of our vet sinking fund. So I'm going to work on getting some of that updated and figuring out the way I want to track all that. I use Capital One 360 for my sinking funds. So whenever I get paid each paycheck, I have a set amount that gets automatically direct deposited into that other bank. So I have 2 direct deposits set up basically, and that money automatically goes into the other account, and I just divvy it up between all my different savings accounts over there. So I will do a video on my sinking funds and their setup at some point, because I'm also getting ready to set up my amounts for 2026, so that'll be a good time to do all of that. So that is all the spending tracking that we need to do for this last paycheck. We are now going to set up November. So if we go over here to November, we have our calendar here. So basically for each month, and I budget by paycheck, but for each month I'll set up this calendar, and then I will set up this page that has goals, events, anything going on, credit score, all of that. And then I do already have this no spend month in here. We're just going to do general spending. I think it matches. Yes, it matches for November, the dates I mean. So I'm going to start using this so that I can kind of be more up to date on tracking my spending, since I'm trying to get back in the habit. And I will mark each day that I either spent money or didn't spend money, the goal being to not spend money, obviously. So then we'll have our sinking fund. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our bills in. And the reason why I like being disc bound is because I can just do this to remember what day my bills are on. So we are going to grab our bill color here. I'm going to zoom you in just a tad. Oop, not out. Zoom in just a little bit. All right, hopefully you can see that. So first up, we have on the 1st, which is really probably going to be the 3rd. But I'm going to split the stuff for the 1st between those 2 days if it doesn't fit. So we've got mortgage, we've got internet, Edward Jones, which is our retirement, and then I'm not going to put Outcrate down because I've actually paused that. So then on the 7th, we have my husband's credit card payment, which we're working on, and then personal loan number 1. We have 2 personal loans right now. On the 10th, we've got Xander identity theft insurance, and then I call it water insurance, but it's like insurance on the water and sewer lines from like the city main to our house. So a lot of people don't know that like from the main from the meter, so how it works in my area, from the meter, the water meter to our house is our responsibility. It's our property. A lot of people don't understand that. They just think it's like whatever's in their house. And the distance from the main to our house is like a good, I don't know, maybe 50 yards. It's a ways. So we have insurance on that. It's really cheap, just in case there's ever an issue. We have really old trees in our yard, so just in case there's ever an issue, you know, we have some coverage there to help us with those expenses. It's really cheap. It's like $20 a month for sewer line, water line, and water, like plumbing inside our house. So that is probably worth it for us. On the 13th, the water bill is due. Well, it's actually due the 17th, but. And then personal loan number 2. That is what day my auto pay comes out. The 19th is T-Mobile. And then we have my car insurance. And then I had golf membership put down in October, but that actually never came out. And I had called them or emailed them to cancel it, but I don't think they charge in the winter anyway, so I think we might be done with that, which would be really nice because that was $175. And then on the 22nd, we have Spotify, my husband's car insurance, and then Ameren, which is utilities, and then that is all we have. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight these. So I know that they are the bills. So then now that I'm back in the habit kind of tracking my spending, what I will do is I will actually track my spending on this calendar. So you can see on here how I put these 2 things that I bought on this day, and I highlighted them the color that they, for that category. So I think these were like household or something. Let me see. I have a cheat sheet. You'd think I'd remember this by now, but I don't. So here is my budget categories. So yeah, they were miscellaneous. So ideally what I would do is, let's say today is November 2nd. Let's say, this is October. Let's say it's November 2nd. Let's say I went and I spent $15 at Walmart and it was for groceries. Then I would write that on the 2nd here, and then I would highlight it this color for groceries, and then I can kind of have a visual representation of how I am spending my money. So I'm going to pop this into here so that I have it for this month. But that is actually all I need to do on this calendar. I am going to write in that this is a holiday for me, and then obviously this is a holiday for Thanksgiving. And then I also get the day after off. So I just want to mark those. I don't think I really have a color. I don't. I'm not going to highlight those, but I'm just going to write them in because sometimes I spend money. Like I'm definitely going to spend money for Thanksgiving. So it's just a thing to have a visual idea of what's coming. So then we have, I'm going to flip us like this page, where we kind of set up our goals for the month. So events for this month, we have Thanksgiving. So I'm going to have to pay for food for that, obviously. And then goals, let me see if I have, I'll show you October. Oh, it would be on the back of here. So this is kind of how I normally use this. Like if I have any financial things to do, I put videos down here, just our goals for the month. So I'm going to grab just this highlighter and use this for our goals. So what we're going to do we'll just do 4. Set our 4 goals for this month. So what do we want our goals to be? Let's do track all spending, because I want to make sure I'm getting in a good habit of doing that. Let's do business finances, because I need to get that all set up now that I'm getting orders in. And then what else do I want to do? I don't think I have any other events this month. Goals. I think that's really probably it, to be honest with you. I'm going to go ahead and put my credit score in. I get that from the Credit Karma app, so I'm just going to put it in because I didn't put it down for October, and I at least could have a starting point. It is 8:06. Cool. Okay. So that's kind of, sorry, I'm trying to fix these pages. That's kind of all that I'm going to do. I don't really have much else to, track on this page for this month. It's just kind of a quiet month. This is going to be for just general spending this time. So I'm going to try to not spend extra money that's not budgeted for. So that would be like using my spending money in my wallet, essentially. And then I'm not going to do our sinking funds because I'm going to do another video on that, I think, and kind of explain the process as I set this up. So normally what I do is I just put the fund down, the beginning balance at the end of like whatever day I do this. So basically it's the beginning of November. So I'll put that down and then I will update as the month goes on for anything that actually happens. So I will do a video on sinking funds coming up in the next week or so if you have more questions about that. Other than that, the only other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my banking app, and then I'm going to go through my budget, which I have on my spreadsheet, and just put in the amounts for the bills that have already been paid. I'm not going to do that on camera because I don't share my income, but I will do a video at some point showing how to use that budget spreadsheet and how I budget my money, kind of using like real bills, but fake income, I guess, and kind of leaving some things out just because I want to show how to budget and how I use that spreadsheet and how you can use it as well because it is free. Link down below. I think that's all I have for this video. We've got November set up. I have kind of my goals set. I don't have a lot for this month. I just want it to be kind of a chill month where we don't spend a lot of money and we just focus on, kind of prepping for the holidays. So thank you for joining me for this video. If you want to check out any of the things that I showed in this video, again, my shop will be linked down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.